Welcome to Max Play Live presents Random Reports. I'm Ortec the Batman, and I'm not a fan. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Anyway, I'm here to interview Kayla Thomas, the host of the show The Arena, but there's more to Kayla than you may realize. Check it out. So we're down here at E&D Games, where Kayla, who's also the host of Max Play Live presents The Arena, is working on, what are you working on? This thing's crazy.
I am actually making a 3D representation of the prison that Wells and currently Kelthard are being kept in. We do have a map laid out of an old prison that has originally been designed by D&D. We're just making it 3D.
So, how much time do you actually put into making props for the show? And I know you guys do an incredible job, but it's got to take a lot of time, right?
Yeah, I currently have an almost full-time, if that's a thing, full job at Books A Million, and every day that I am not working there, I'm here. I'm painting. I actually spent over 7 hours just on these walls in one day straight. We finished painting this board last night. I spend just about all of my free time that I possibly can during store hours doing this, constructing things, molding things, painting things. I'm currently gluing things.
Well, speaking of painting things, your paint work is incredible. We showed that off a little bit in the last show, but I mean, did you get into that just for the show, or were you into it prior?
When I was a teenager, I used to paint like on canvas and stuff, but never 3D things like these, like the walls and whatnot. I got into it originally when I started to play War Machine, and I wanted to paint my figures. But I would say that it's improved and gotten more so during the construction of the arena in the terrain and the things like that.
Oh, so working on the arena for the show has actually tightened up your skills quite a bit. Being that you work on the show, on screen, and you host the show, behind the scenes, how cool is it? I mean, you do a lot behind the scenes, but how cool is it to see, your hard work on screen?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that maybe some things that I build will kill our players. That's probably my favorite part. It's definitely cool. It's a little bit rewarding in a way, because it's like, oh man, this is so cool. I hope everyone else thinks it's as cool as I do, and they do, and it's pretty cool.
Do you ever get jealous that you don't get to play as a PC on some of the stuff that you guys build?
Not as much as you would think, I guess. I like seeing other people play with it. I guess it's a little bit more rewarding than if I were to myself play with it, because then I'd be looking at it and I'd be critiquing it the entire time, like, oh man, I messed up there, I should fix that, and then I wouldn't be able to, and it would.
You would not be in the game at all. You would, you'd be worried about your work, which is understandable. You're pretty passionate about all of this stuff. But speaking of the show, what's your favorite moment on the show? I mean, a lot of cool stuff has happened, but what's your favorite moment that stands out to you on the show so far?
Definitely our first player death. Rest in peace, Morthos, but I'm glad somebody died. Definitely glad that somebody died.
So is that the big kick out of the show that you get, is when people are close to death or dying? Because we've had a couple. I believe Logan's character almost, Daniel White. Yep, he almost was. He almost took a dirt nap. That guy, but he's luckily gotten out of it. So, I mean, do you guys design the game board just to kill players, or is there a bigger motivation to it?
We build things to better tell the story, because the kind of game that we're playing, it's all imagination based. Right. So you can sit there in front of a blank board and be like, okay, well, you've got this ogre breaking out of a cage, or just picture it in your head, or you can actually have a broken cage with an ogre miniature next to it. I think the main reason I like to do a good job and I like to do this is because it helps with the imagination process for maybe those who aren't so visual in their mind, to have like an actual board set out in front of them and be like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I mean, it helps me out because it takes the thought out of it, and I can focus more on actually playing the game. Speaking of playing the game, how long have you been playing Dungeons & Dragons, and what got you into it?
Okay, funny story there. I guess I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I never really had friends per se who wanted to do it. So I never really had the time. But when I moved to Newport Richey and I discovered E&D, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we play D&D," and I'm like, "What? Yes! I don't even have to have friends. I can just play with you guys."
Yeah.
And then they became friends. So I've been playing for about 10 months, I would say.
So you found the Nerd Hub is what happened.
I found Nerdvana.
Nerdvana, that's awesome. Oh my God, I wish I'd have thought of that. That's fist bumps. I had a similar experience. You know, I grew up wanting to play D&D. Just nobody was ever into it. Everybody was too cool, or it was just too much work. It is a lot of work just to sit down and play the game. But you know, it's definitely really cool to see a show like The Arena that gets to highlight that. I mean, other shows do it, but we do it in our own special way. Why do you think people will watch The Arena, and what do you think draws people into it, and what draws you into it?
I think the best thing about our show versus other D&D streaming shows is that ours is a lot more visual. Like, we literally create 3D maps for these players to play in and experience, whereas like I've seen other ones where it's just basically like a screen, and that's your map, and you just kind of pinpoint where you want to go. And I think it's really cool, you know, being able to have your own customized miniature that you move around and actual terrain. Like, we've actually taken miniatures and measured them to this wall, and just their head sticks out. Like, we make it so that it's actually physical, you know, like in an imagination-based game. Like, it's really cool to have, you know, that 3D aspect.
So this stuff is not just for show, it's also practical, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a D&D miniature actually right behind us that we keep with us for this exact purpose, to put next to the walls so that you can kind of see, okay, well, he can obviously fit in that wall, and it's basically, you know, people size.
Yeah, that's I would have never known that, and I mean, unless you have told me. So you guys put a ton of thought into this. Does it ever get boring? Do you ever get tired, or do you guys just think of new and cool stuff to do to keep it fresh?
My eyes get tired sometimes, like painting small things super close to my face. But no, I would say it never really gets boring. Dave and I are always here in the store just bouncing ideas off of each other, like, hey, what if we try this? Or, hey, what if we try that? Like, these walls were actually going to be part of something else for the arena, but we decided that it would actually work better, since I've already spent so much time doing these, if we actually used them for this 3D prison map.
Oh, this thing is awesome, and the rest of the game board is pretty cool too. If you haven't seen the show, you need to like us on Facebook and check us out on YouTube. We're also on Twitch. All of that stuff will be on the bottom of the screen because, again, I'm lazy.
Of course.
So, you know, you'll be able to see it later. But I want to play a little bit of word association. Okay. So I'm going to say a word, and then you tell me an answer. All right? All right. Good. Dead.
Morthos.
Cats.
Yay!
No other answer than just yay?
Just yay. They make me happy, man.
All right. D&D.
Fun.
Let me think of another. No, that was okay. That was kind of okay. It was okay. Random.
Reports.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Max Play Live presents Random Reports. I'm Ortec the Batman.
Fan.
This is Kayla Thomas. I'll try it again. I'm Ortec the Batman.
Fan.
All right, whatever. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.